What's going on YouTube world? Austin Zabak here, and I have an important question to ask you. How old are you going to be when you retire? I mean, what age are you going to be, right? Are you going to be 65 or 70 or maybe even 75? I know that when I was growing up, my teachers, my colleagues, my friends, and even my family told me that I had to go get a job, right? I had to work really hard. I had to graduate, right, from high school and college and get good grades my whole life. And I had to do all these things, right, that we were always told. Society always told us this. And it was also, eventually I could be 70, 75 and retire on 40% of my income. And I know for a fact that I didn't always agree with that. And I want to ask you a question. What if I told you that it was entirely possible for you to retire literally whenever you want to? If you like the sound of that, go ahead and smash that freaking subscribe button. And also, do me a quick favor, smash that like button, because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can literally retire whenever you want. Now, I know that a lot of people call themselves retired when they're actually still working or doing a side hustle. But in this video, I'm going to be covering the essential steps to becoming totally financially free. It will then simply empower you to retire early. Now, these are the steps that I've already personally completed. And while I'm not actually retired, I make more than enough money to already be retired in my 20s. That's just my decision, and when you're financially free like myself, then you're also going to have a very similar decision to make, whether or not you truly want to retire, or just knowing that you could might be enough. So whether you choose to retire somewhere on a beach, or you choose to start your own companies like myself, these simple steps will literally give you the financial freedom to do whatever you want to do. And that's what matters most in life, isn't it? Having the freedom to literally do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. So, what I'm going to be covering in this particular video, it's literally going to be everything. This video is going to be your little go-to video, kind of like the Bible for retiring early. Now, I'm going to be teaching you about real estate investments, passive income, financial freedom, and obviously, retiring early. So, let's just go ahead and make it happen. One of the most important steps that I had to make when it came down to being able to retire early was having my rental income be greater than my expenses. That means that essentially the rental properties that I owned put more money into my pockets than the amount of money that they take out, right? And the very first step that you need to take when desiring to become financially free is calculating your expenses. Now I know this is a really boring first step. But believe me, there's nothing more boring than waiting until your 60s or 70s to retire. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to add up your expenses on paper. And I want you to be able to see it with your own eyes, right? How much money is going out of your pocket every single month? And more importantly, you're going to be able to add up how much money your rental properties need to be generating for you to make an extra income. Now, this isn't something that I'm suggesting, right? This is a must do. You have to do it, right? There's no getting around it. If you skip this step, then you're going to be like somebody who literally has a gym membership and goes once a week and expects results. And I mean, that sounds a little bit crazy, doesn't it? So let's go ahead and get started on adding up your expenses right now. Now, I know a lot of people that watch these kind of videos and they don't actually take any of the information and put it to good use, right? So guys, if you want to go anywhere, then literally right now, I want you to pull out a pen and a paper and I want you to do it, right? I want you to write all of your expenses down. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do what you're going to do here in just a moment. Okay, I'm going to wait for you. Go ahead, pull out your pen, get your paper. I'm waiting. All right, you got it? Cool. So go ahead and write down literally the last 4 months of your expenses. Now, if that means that you need to get out your Excel spreadsheet or get out your bank statements, then go ahead and do that right now. Okay, I'm waiting. You got it? All right, cool. Now, I don't care how you do it as long as you write down every single penny that you spent money on over the last 120 days. Now, while you're doing this, I would recommend that you break up your expenses into 2 different categories. The first one is your necessities, right? Or what I call your needs. Now, the second one is your discretionary spending, or put more simply, your wants, right? What do you want to spend money on? Now, necessities, of course, are the things that you absolutely have to pay for. It could be your bills, your rent, your gas, right? Your wants could be along the lines of shopping, going out to eat with friends, vacations, so on and so forth. Basically, wants are things that you don't necessarily need to buy, and they're things that you can kind of normally cut back on. Okay, so now you've completed that first step, right? Got it? Good. Okay, so your first goal should be to have enough rental income to cover your necessary expenses. Now, I remember the first time I generated income with all of my rental properties. It was bringing me about $1,000 a month into my pocket. Now, instead of thinking to myself, how could I spend that extra $1,000 a month? I thought, okay, what expenses could this money cover? It could cover my car payment, my car insurance, my phone bill, my groceries. Then I thought to myself, well, if I could get another $1,000 a month, what expenses could that cover? The point that I'm trying to make is that your first step is to figure out how much your necessary expenses are every single month, and that amount becomes your target or your goal for covering it with that rental income that we talked about a minute ago. Okay, this is a magic question, right? How do you start with, let's just say, $0 and generate monthly income through rental property? The first thing that you're gonna need is to save up 10 to 20% for a down payment. So let's just say the property's $50,000. You're gonna need to save up about $5,000. Or let's say the property's $100,000, you'll need to save up about $10,000. The key here is to make getting the down payment your top priority, right? If you have to cut back on your expenses, then it's 100% worth it every single time. See, a lot of people have bad spending habits, and it's based on 100% emotion, right? And the thing is, if you can cut back on your spending for a while to save up enough money for a down payment, guys, this is literally gonna be life-changing. Okay, so what kind of property should you buy? You wanna buy a 2 to 4 unit building, and then you wanna get your belongings, you heard me, and you wanna move into one of those units. Now, why do I say that you need to move into one of the units? When you go to buy a primary residence that you intend to live in yourself, you qualify for what's called a conventional owner-occupied financing. This essentially means that you qualify for better interest rates and lower down payments. Now, the property has to have a maximum of 4 units, so no more. You can't have 5 units, just 4, right? And the key is you actually have to live in the property for a minimum of at least 1 year. How long? 1 year. This idea is literally so genius because if you're able to buy 4 units for a lower financing cost while renting out the other 3 units, that means that those 3 units literally put cash into your wallet while you literally live rent-free. The next step is to add value to your units by fixing them up. Now, I know we all love watching those shows like Fixer Upper on HGTV. And a lot of what you see on HGTV, those rules are exactly the same here. When you fix up your property and you bring it up to date, with not only the city codes, but with modern amenities and appliances, maybe some new paint and carpet, right? You literally sit there and watch the value of the property increase, and it's gonna be much more appealing to potential renters. When you look for the right property to buy, make sure that you find a property that has easy things that you can fix. It's amazing how much just a simple fresh coat of paint can increase the property value, right? Like, when I look at pictures, I'm like, holy cow. Like, pictures make or break a property. The key is to look for cheap fixes that will eventually put more money back into your pocket, right? And you all know exactly what we want to do in real estate. What is it? Buy low and sell high. You got it. When you're just getting started, remember to always keep your project easy and within your budget. We see a lot of times on HGTV where they go way overboard and things go wrong and there's so much chaos and it's just insane. You don't want to deal with all that crap right now, right? If you're just getting started, keep it simple. All right, so you fixed up the place. It once looked like your great grandma's house and now it looks like a fresh, modern frickin' pad, okay? So what's next? It's time to find the renters. All right, little pro tip here. What you price the units at need to cover all of your expenses, okay? So that means essentially it should include your mortgage, property taxes, repairs, and anything that goes out of your pocket, right? In any way, shape, or form needs to find a way to go right back in. Let's just say hypothetically you charge $900 a month for rent and you have 3 total units. Now, let's just say that you still owe more money on your mortgage, and as far as cash flow goes, well, you're still in the negative. What you can do, and where this really gets interesting, is doing what's called a cash out refinance. Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time. Cash out refinance. I'll put it right here on the screen. Got it? Essentially, what that means is the bank looks at the new value of your property, they see the various repairs that you made, and let's just say they reevaluate your property for a higher value and give you a loan of 85% of what the new property is valued at. Now, you have money to both pay off the existing mortgage, as well as have some leftover money to put money in your pocket, or, you guessed it, put more money right back into real estate. You could essentially keep doing this cycle with new properties and doing new cash out refinances over and over again. This will keep gaining you more and more passive income, and the more money that you have, the larger and more expensive properties you can ultimately buy. I mean, realistically, if you kept doing this process and reinvesting your income into more real estate, you could actually retire within 5 to 10 years. And then always remember that real estate has been around since the dawn of time. It's the most time-tested, proven industry on the planet. It's always gonna be here, and there will always be a demand for real estate. So what does this really cost you? I mean, to recap, you're gonna need financial discipline, you're gonna need to calculate your necessary expenses, and cut back on your discretionary spending. You're gonna need to save up some of your money for a down payment, and you're gonna need to buy, fix, and rent a property. Cash out and refinance the mortgage, and lastly, you're gonna need to keep doing this process for about 5 to 10 years. Now, if you keep this process up, you can retire within a decade and have financial freedom that so many people never experience. Guys, I want you to understand that a lot of people think that you can get rich overnight. And the reality of it is, whether you're doing Shopify or Amazon FBA or Facebook ads or real estate or insurance or whatever it is that you're doing, maybe you're making YouTube videos like me. Getting wealthy and retiring takes time. So understand that if real estate's your only source of main income, then it might take a little longer. But you might have a couple of other side hustles that help you to invest in real estate even quicker. And that process could be much shorter. So just understand that it takes time no matter what, and it's going to vary situation by situation. But I can tell you one thing's for sure. Investing in real estate, as long as you do it the right way and you follow these simple steps and you continue to do it over and over again, you're never going to look back and regret that decision, right? It's just never going to happen. You're always going to make money no matter what because there's no more land and you can't go out any further, and eventually they're going to have to start going up. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and drop in the comment section down below what you'd like to see in the next video. Smash that freaking like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.